Welcome back to the second boat trip episode, everyone. We're heading out from Vermilion City today and we will be taking the SS Aqua back to Johto. If you like, you can head on to the next episode, which will feature me stumbling around the Whirl Islands trying to find Lugia. However, if you want to see who you can encounter on the ship travelling from Kanto, then tag along and we'll get involved in some battles. Sunny will be leading us off. Similar procedures as before. If you rest in your room, you'll finish the journey. A different set of opponents awaits us today, so we'll have to see what we encounter. Leading us off is a Pokemaniac with a Rhyhorn. Now, obviously for my team, this isn't going to be too much trouble. This is more just a demonstration than anything else, which is why I've said you don't have to worry about sticking around if you don't want to. You can at least rematch all these trainers, which is a good benefit. So there we are, Rhyhorn is down and out, and Rhydon is the next opponent. A much lower level Rhydon than you can generally find. If indeed you do wind up encountering a wild Rhydon, which I don't think you can in these games. And there we are, one down. Into this room, and there's no one here. But there is a burglar in this room. Apparently he's come on board to steal stuff, I don't know. Just the usual Pokemon you'd expect from the trainer class. So we're not really going to be too troubled by all of these. I will have to switch the team around a little bit going into the Whirl Islands. I believe I need Waterfall and Whirlpool. So it's... Do excuse me for that. But yes, I think we need Waterfall. And we do need Whirlpool to actually get in there, which is a bit bothersome. Fortunately, Polari will be particularly useful because I taught him Flash, but I won't really have that many options. I might need Strength, so I'd better keep Dash on hand. Anyway, probably not a lot to say as we are nearing the end of the adventure. I could, at some point, go and track down the remaining legendary beasts, since I do have Suicune in the Pokédex. I've encountered it, at least. But, unfortunately, it's a bit of a problem, because either my team's going to be too strong for it, or it's just going to be a really, really long time chipping everything down, and we'll have to chase it across the region. Maybe I'll make that into a bonus episode. Far as I know, I don't think they can flee when they're asleep, because when I put Teddiursa to sleep... No, wait, I just threw in Hope with Teddiursa. But with certain Pokemon that can flee, I think putting them to sleep stops them from doing so. And we've got a bug catcher here. Good old Ariados. And, unfortunately, brushed aside effortlessly. And this is going to wrap things up for the conventional spotlights, actually. I'm going to put some attention on Pinto because Scyther got a bit of time in the spotlight earlier. So here we go. In red and blue versions, Pinto and Scyther were foils to each other. They had different styles of play, with Scyther being focused on speed and Pinto on brute force, and they were found in different versions, Scyther in red, Pinto in blue. But Scyther now contrasts with Caesar, and Pinto has a rivalry with Heracross, much as Japan has the little rivalry between the Kuwagata Mushi, the stag beetle, and the Kabuto Mushi, the rhinoceros beetle. Interestingly, Pinto is a pure bug type rather than bug fighting, though it is often associated with fighting type moves. It actually learns more of those leveling up than it does bug type moves. It only learns X-Scissor from Generation 4 onwards, but has access to plenty of good fighting type moves. Pinto will definitely hit very hard and it has pretty decent defense as well, but unfortunately its special stats are fairly average and it's not super quick. Nonetheless, its Mega Evolution fixes a lot of these and gives it an extra playstyle. While Pinto is often quite hard to find, if you do get your hands on it, you're actually going to have a very dependable Pokemon. Keep on looking for it, and see if you can win the bug catching contest with one in this generation. And let's take it down. Again, not going to be too difficult, but there are some particularly annoying battles when you're taking this particular route with the SS Aqua. And here we are, we have a guitarist. Only Pokemon is Electabuzz, which I probably should go back and catch at some point. Perhaps that can be a bonus episode where I go back and find various Pokemon with the help of Masashi, my Scyther. Masashi will probably tag along with us into the Whirl Islands so that I can actually catch Pokemon like Seal and Horsey. I will be putting an explanation at the beginning of the next episode just so people know that I actually did all that. Because of course some people will have skipped this explanation, some people will have stuck around. Now this guy is alright. He's not the annoying battle, the lady over there is the really annoying one. Just a regular old Meowth. Still a decent Pokemon though. Anyway, a little bit of a top up for Sunny. And we probably won't have much different. Probably Persian as the final Pokemon, or it might be a Meowth, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's just go with Solar Beam. Fair enough, so they can have that. It is worth noting that it's most likely Bite was changed to be a Dark type move on account of the fact it's a very underhanded technique. A lot of techniques which are Dark type attacks are actually based on some sort of pragmatic combat. For example, Feint Attack is designed around drawing opponents off guard and then hitting them. So it, in a sense, is sort of a Sucker Punch, while the move we know as Sucker Punch is actually Ambush in the Japanese versions. Night Slash's name refers to the act of a samurai trying out a new sword on a passerby. And they were allowed to get away with things like that, so bad luck if you were just wandering around and somebody wanted to test out a sword. Anyway, we will switch to Dash for the next one because, well, he will be encountering relatives of his somewhere along the way. A lot of them. It is implied later on It's definitely mentioned in the remakes that she has to get her Pokemon out of the daycare. Her other Pokemon is probably a Furret, which is why she has a whole team of Sentrets and that one Furret. She keeps forgetting and they keep leaving eggs behind. This is pretty much up there with the Pikachu battle. Nothing really to do but wait, just use Rollout and they'll probably spam Quick Attack. And third one going down. No, they're not using Quick Attack. Come a long way from when Dash was just a Sentret. And there's Furret. Bit stronger, but Dash has got it all figured out. And one more hit with Rollout will do the trick. And there we go, maximum power. So it has been quite a journey for the members of this team. I'll reminisce on that a bit later on though, when we actually get around to wrapping things up. Do we have anyone in here? No, so we can head downstairs. And let's see, we have a Sailor to battle here. Well, why don't we let the champ test you? 4 Pokemon. Well, Machamp is always a decent Pokemon, I can swear by that one. And I'm very proud of the fact I actually have a shiny Machamp. I found it as a Machoke in Sun version. I was looking for Jangmo-O so I could complete the Pokédex. It took me ages to find that. It took me about 4 in-game hours, and I'm not making that up, to find one single Jangmo-O. I found that Machoke before I found a single Jangmo-O, and Jangmo-O has a 5% chance of appearing, so I don't know whether I'm genuinely lucky in some sense, genuinely unlucky, or just a strange hybrid of both. That I have luck, but it's not the luck I want. And Poliwrath, decent enough Pokemon, but might need a bit of variety because Will would probably thrash him. But yeah, I've found some fairly strange shiny Pokemon. I found a shiny Bellsprout along the way in the gold on the 3DS Virtual Console. Found a shiny Marill, I think. I can't remember which game it was. It might have been in Sun version, I'm not sure, but I did wind up finding one. Found a shiny Wingull in a Horde battle. Also found a shiny Kecleon. The shiny Graveler was my prize, the first shiny Pokemon I actually encountered and could catch. I did find a shiny Zubat in Leaf Green when I didn't have any Pokeballs, and that still ticks me off. And I accidentally KO'd a shiny Heatmore because I wasn't paying attention in the White version. But that Graveler was at a level where it learned Explosion. I am very, very fortunate that I have it. So we've got another doll, we'll probably have to potter home. Let's see, no one down here. But we have a few trainers here. And they're apparently off on an excursion. A couple of school kids and a teacher. Poor old Leadian, we haven't really seen much of it. It has pretty good special defense, okay speed, everything else sucks. It can have the Iron Fist ability to boost the power of its punching moves, which is alright because it learns some punching moves. Problem is it's got about as much physical attack as Kadabra. So really, Leadian has a very hard time of things, even harder than Ariados. And there we go. Sorry. I have to admit the ruins of Alph aren't that interesting. I'm not entirely sure if I did all the puzzles as well. I'm pretty sure I did. I can go back and double check if needs be for a bonus episode. Apom we didn't get because I'll have to look up where we need to headbutt trees. But in this generation, it's not really worth it. It is sort of worth it when it evolves into Ambipom, but even then, that's not outstanding. And a Ditto. I'm pretty sure, if you have been following, you might remember the grudge I have against this thing. That was a nightmare trying to catch it. But there's an interesting glitch involving Ditto. If you use the move Rage, or a Pokemon with Transform uses the move Rage in the Generation 4 games, after it's transformed... Okay, let's phrase this better. So let's say a Ditto transforms into another Pokemon that knows Rage. If that wild Pokemon uses Rage and it gets to the point where the Rage is building message is delivered for that Pokemon, and you proceed to catch it, the Pokemon which transformed will have the moveset of the Pokemon it transformed into. I actually did that completely by accident at one point, and wound up with a Ditto that had all my Croconaur's moves, and that was really bizarre. Unfortunately, Jigglypuff isn't going to be much of a threat. Not sure if I mentioned it, but I did actually manage to find a Jigglypuff on Route 46. On this particular playthrough anyway. And there we go. That wraps all the battles up for here. We'll go and say hello to the captain, I think we can anyway. He might remember us. So, head up here and let's say hi. Well, fair enough, it does travel very well. We can't read the book, unfortunately. But it's pretty safe to say that these days you would not get away with doing something like that. You couldn't just wander up and talk to the captain. You'd be arrested in a heartbeat. Lots changed since they made these games. Anyway, that wraps things up for our trip from Kanto to Johto. I will be taking some time to level grind, or at least what's going to pass for level grind given everything that I've mentioned. We'll get the team to a fitting level, and then we'll be over in Cianwood City, ready to try and catch Lugia. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time on our scenic tour back in the Johto region.